Okay, we're back again with going over some details of these individual parts. First one we'll talk about is the -01 handle. And so this is a part that's going to be specified. That means as a designer, you're going to go to a manufacturer's website and find an existing part number, something we can buy and use in our design. And then you're going to build a Cad model of it. So the requirements for the part are that it's made out of aluminum. And the other requirement is a very general requirement, but it's got to work, which means it's got to be able to be functioning like the product needs to function. And so you'll find a part number from the manufacturer's website. And the manufacturer's website can be found at, I believe it's RAFHDWE.com. So you can just go to your favorite browser and do a search, Google search on RAF hardware, and you'll find their manufacturer's website. You'll go to that manufacturer's website and find their product catalog and find the handles and go through and browse until you find a handle that'll work. Once you find that part number, I want you to get approval from the lead engineer, which is me. So if we're in class, just tell me in class what number you've chosen to make sure it's correct. If it's after class, then just send me an email and I'll approve that before you start building the Cad model. All right, what's a Cad model going to look like? Well, here's a picture on the side over here of the top front part of that plate, and then this is the front view down here at the bottom. So your handle is going to look something like this. It's going to come off this side here, and it's going to turn the corner and look something like this. Pretty poor picture, but you get the idea. So you're going to have to get the correct spacing on the fasteners for the handle, and they have to match the spacing on that base plate that I've already given you. So that'll define that width there. What about this other direction? How are you going to determine this direction? Well, as a designer, that's part of your task. And so if you make that 8 inches long, I'm going to say that's way too long. It's going to stick way out. We don't need it that long. And if you have one that's 1/4 of an inch deep, then I'm going to say that's ridiculous. You can't get your hand in there to pull the tray out. And so pick one that's going to be reasonable and ergonomic. The other thing you'll have to decide is what diameter the handle is going to be. And so if you choose a real small diameter handle, then it's going to be easy to break off, and I'm going to say that's too small. Then if you come back and say, well, let's make one that's got a nice big handle so it doesn't break, I'm going to say that's too big, and it's not going to sit flat. The assembly won't sit flat on the table. So the diameter of the handle is going to be correctly sized. As far as the fasteners go, on this particular part, you're going to have a socket head cap screw, appropriately sized, and you're going to have a split lock washer, appropriately sized. So both those part numbers will come from McMaster-Carr. Find the part number. For the socket cap screw, just download the model, save it as the file name, which I talked about in the overview. For the split lock washer, if you download the split lock washer from McMaster-Carr, it's going to look like this. It's going to have a cant to it that it looks like as it's before it's installed, and it's not going to be able to be mated in the assembly. So don't download that from McMaster-Carr. Make your own model. And so make a model that looks like a sketch that looks like this. You're going to have, from the top view, it's going to look like this. Then just extrude that shape, and that'll be your flat split lock washer. And then give that the file name, the McMaster-Carr file name as appropriate. Okay, so that should take care of overview of the -01 handle.